Welcome back, everybody. Redline's still a gamer. It's incurable, unfortunately. It's malignant. It's growing in his brain.
Found some fan art that was of Redline that I thought was really funny in context for how Redline is treated in this game.
Yeah, it seems to be him hanging out in the weird fucking holodeck and sharing fries with you, and just like a nice little date with him. Which I think him sharing fries happened in the first time we talked to him, or you tried to share fries, but. It's a nice little, sweet little drawing. It's also the only safe for work drawing that I found in Redline's E6 tag, so that's the one I shared.
No, it's like that. It's like that trope that people often draw of like your waifu or husbando, like offering you like something to eat or drink, and he's doing it with fries.
They're thinking about you. You like this disgusting fried food that is probably bad for our entire goals here?
Well, now you're talking like the protagonist.
My phone's only at 12%.
And I mean that insultingly.
I know. It can only mean it that way. He's awful. Fuck. No. Can't say that I have Redline.
Jeez.
Dude, you're going to love it. Come here. He pulls the chair from my desk over to his and pats the seat. This is like it's like one of the greatest fears is the idea that you're just being friendly and you're being nice to people and everyone secretly resents you and you don't know. It's like
this is nightmare fuel.
Yeah, like Redline is currently living being like Laos from fucking Dungeon Meshi and so on, where it's like, why is everyone hates him and he doesn't know? No. I try not to look too dejected as I waddle over to the chair and drop down. His laptop's still booting up. Slow ass laptop. Been saving up for the new one, but shipping takes ages to get down here. It's one whole elevator. You can get mail down here? Yeah, well, sorta. It's like a quarterly thing. Every few months they collect letters and packages from fans and family and hand them out. It's like Christmas, but
are they fucking on
4 times a year?
What?
Yeah. Way more restricted than you'd think. It's quarterly?
Jesus Christ. I think the space station gets more frequent deliveries than that.
I'm just like, it feels like for whoever's job it is, it would just be an easier life if it wasn't quarterly, because they could just distribute the stuff as it arrives, like weekly or whatever, instead of like, well, it's Amazon Day.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like a holiday.
Or Amazon Week, whatever it's called, Prime Week, the
Prime
fucked up
Day.
Nightmare holiday. Unsupervised contact with people topside only 4 times a year. What if anyone wants to mail things out? He shakes his head. Oh,
Not
no.
allowed.
You gotta get vacation days for anything like that. Then you can go up. Then you can go up top and do whatever. Even butt stuff. I said that. I guess that makes sense in theory. No need to bring anything down that you aren't going to need in the future. No need to bring anything down you aren't going to need in the future. What?
This means live an ascetic lifestyle.
Yeah, but they're referring to the idea of mailing stuff out. So I was like, huh. Like, I guess the idea is you wouldn't have stuff to mail. Like what? Yeah, I guess what would they mail out?
That's actually a really confusing
besides,
sentiment. Yeah.
I guess what would they mail out besides letters? Who does those anymore?
Art, maybe. Maybe they'd be drawings. I don't fucking know what you would mail down here.
It's like they're not paying me enough here, so I'm trying to make side money on my based on my fame, like a college basketball player. Like I can't get paid for anything, but the attention, I can monetize that, right? I draw. They're just selling like Ringo Starr paintings. Redline's laptop lights up during all this, slowly turning to life before it kicks on to his desktop. He steps back to his bed and rummages through a bag he pulled out from under it. Give me a sec here. I should have 2 controllers. Sure enough, he produces a second one just in time for a bunch of programs to automatically open on his computer. He hands me one of the controllers and gets to work setting it up. I don't play too many video games. They never really caught my attention. Couldn't afford them. And Dad was more interested in me living a more active lifestyle anyway.
Video games.
I know. There was a few subtle hints if you paid close attention to the subtext. Are the controllers supposed to be this frail? It feels like I could bend it in half if I tried hard enough. Redline's looking a lot sturdier, but also way more used. Redline's is looking more sturdier. The controller. Not just Redline as a man. The plastic on his joystick is peeling off. Alright, just about done. Alright, just, oh shit, sorry, he pauses for a second, reaching for my controller, then hesitates. There's an awkward pause, then he swaps our controller so I have the sturdier one. Sorry, they both work, but that one's better, even if it looks kind of junky. I don't really mind either way.
He's giving him the good controller. Oh.
Marry him. Oh, sorry.
That's true love.
He sits awkwardly, then straightens up when his game boots up. Guess that's the end of that. He seems out of it. He's just desperately trying to make you not pissed at him. He's working so hard. Oh, hello. There's a song. Okay, so, have you ever played any fighting games before? No?
Are they fighting an organ?
It does sound more like JRPG battle music or something. Yeah. What kind of games do you play? My coworker had me download this one game on my phone once, but I didn't touch it after that. And Christ. Nothing else? It sounds literally impossible, right? Like, it's hard to conceptualize somebody that just literally never plays games of any kind. No. He rubs his hands together and smiles. You're in for a treat. So, all fighting games are based on a series of inputs that Redline trails off, explaining the basics of the game. He's not trailing off. You're just you're tuning him out. He's still talking. That's
you
not
can't
what
trail off on sentence 2.
Yeah, that's not what trailing off means, because he's still talking the whole time. Explaining the basics of the game, the controls, which buttons do what. I try my best to pay attention to his instructions with some flashy intro plays on the screen. He's not trying that hard. So these are your light, medium, and heavy attack buttons. Then this one does something different with each character. It's the special button. It's Street Fighter. It's specifically Street Fighter. The only one we know how to play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to play. I shut down so easily. Alright, and I just press these. That's
not true. Remember when I used to grab you and throw you out of the air over and over again? Oh.
And then the 6th time I would do it back. Fun. Yeah. Yeah, no, it got to the point where I'm like, okay. Bird can literally shut me down by the end of a session because he just learns how to completely counter anything I start to do, and I'm like, I can't
In my
respond.
defense, throwing you over and over again was extremely funny.
The struggle here is that in the list of people around us, you're like the 30th best player, so I'm in dire straits at that point for like being able to play the game at all. That's the struggle with fighting games. You're like, okay, he's gonna get a perfect on me at this rate, and everyone else is harder.
Anyway.
Yep, pretty much. There's a little bit of nuance to that, but you'll get the hang of it. So what do I do when someone punches me? In the game, you gotta block. You just hold your control stick backwards. It's a fight, right? Can I evade or counter? He gets a weird, almost confused look on his face. Yeah, actually, but that's like advanced.
Mm-hmm.
Just like real fighting, I guess. Redline flicks through.
Blocking is not advanced technique in real fighting.
No, he said block. He said blocking first, and then we asked about evading and countering, and he's like, that's a lot.
Okay.
Redline flicks through a few
I thought
menus.
this meant blocking, and I was like, that's less than 1.5.
Yeah, sorry, I trailed off.
Yeah.
Redline flicks through a few menus, and a bunch of characters show up on screen. Redline cycles through them, explaining who does what. Also, I thumb over, but I also thumb over a few of them. Thumbing, I guess you're thumbing the controller? I recognize that fox girl with all the tails from when Red played this a few months back.
Oh.
How long have you been here? Oh god. Jesus Christ. Oh, I'm just upset by the idea of him having been here for like maybe 2 months now, and he's just refusing to bond with the person that he's spending every single night with. What a miserable human being that's not a human, but I guess she's the main character. Then there's that fat alligator man. He's got a big trench coat. Is that a reference to Brock the Investigator? Coyote girl with a sniper, badger dude with a pro wrestling outfit, some kind of wolf doctor? And what the hell kind of fights they're getting into? Are there any, like, boxers?
Oh my god.
Yeah, Julia here.
I don't want to play as a girl.
Seems to be a jackal wearing some torn karate gi. She's the closest we got, at least. She's kind of tricky though, so I'd recommend I lock in Julia. The faster I can get this over with, the better.
I want this to end with Zander in the hospital again somehow.
Somehow from Street Fighter.
He loses so hard he has to go to the doctor.
Yep, his hand falls off. Redline makes some kind of awkward sound and goes quiet, then picks another character. Both the characters make some kind of snarky one-liner and the fight starts. I do what it looked like Redline was doing the other day and just press buttons. That didn't last long. The fat crocodile man easily beats my character. Redline tries to give me some pointers, but doesn't really make sense to me. The next round starts and he tries to instruct me some more. Can we just play the game? It sounds really snippy. Redline pauses for a beat. Yeah, sure.
Jesus Christ.
He's awful all the
next
time.
round plays out in silence.
That's the vibe I love for my shared screen multiplayer video games. I like to play video games with a pit in my stomach. The next round plays out in silence, the same result in the same amount of time. None of the buttons I'm pressing seem to do anything to stop the crocodile guy from attacking me.
At least this is kind of relatable, but just try to have fun.
Yeah,
a little bit.
It's accurately impossible to. It's just completely impossible to learn fighting video games on the fly from scratch. It's fucked up. But
yeah,
Jesus,
crazy.
Talk about something like it's supposed to be hanging out. Why can't I just duck out and circle out, or go for a takedown? These fights are annoying.
Well,
Redline asks if I want
to the instructions. You might have stood a chance.
Redline asks if I want to play again, and I grumble back some sort of affirmation. The same thing as last time, only complete silence. No, last time was complete silence already. That doesn't make sense. I glance over at Redline, but he's not smiling. Do you want to play again? I think I'm good. No! We unlocked a new sprite. Redline's depression. No. I set the controller down on the table and Redline scoops it right up. He pushes some buttons and the game closes. Silently, he goes to put the controllers back in the bag on his bed. He almost seems to be in a hurry doing it, judging by the aggressive sounds of the bed being shoved back under his bed. I guess it's supposed to be the bag being shoved under his bed. Unless his bed is recursive. Sorry. Redline sits back on his desk and sighs. You can go back to the library if you want. I didn't mean to keep you. This is torture. This is like a social experiment. Like, hey, what if we invented the perfect husband character that is just flawless and nice to you all the time and cares about your feelings and also like prioritizes you at the game and just wants to spend time with you, and you hate him and you're forced to just pilot this mech that you can't put buttons on that just hates him the entire game. You're like, Jesus fucking Christ.
It is a little excruciating.
I've never seen him like this. Quiet, fidgety, and not looking at me. It sucks. I almost wish he was talking my ear off. His computer desktop looks cluttered with icons and documents all over it. Behind it, though, is a big group of a group shot of what I assume to be a family, friends. Half of them are the same breed. This is this your family on the computer? Redline perks up in his chair. Oh yeah, have I not shown you them? Or have you refused to let me show you them for 2 months? He's mentioned them every now and again, but I never really paid attention. No need to poke my nose into family affairs. That's not poking your nose in, it's him sharing. Jesus Christ. Surprisingly, no.
God damn it.
Yep.
A drip, a crumb of a nice thing coming from him, immediately followed with a backhanded comment. Jesus.
That backhanded comment seemed to go over his head as he pulled the picture up onto his screen. At this point, Redline being immune to backhanded comments is like a survival mechanic. It's the same image as his desktop, a group of people standing shoulder to shoulder in a line. 5 of them are some sort of terrier canine breed, while the other 4 are hyenas. Most of them have a big cheesy grin, while a few were only smiling a little. I can see Redline all the way to the right, sticking out like a sore thumb. All the others have at least a foot of height over him, even with his ears. Redline points to the screen, starting with the older canine man on the left. Even with his ears, don't they all have ears? That's my dad, Boris. He's kind of strict, but he got me into martial arts, so all's well that ends well, right?
I guess.
That sounds slightly worrying in its implications somehow.
Yeah, all's well that ends well. Like, you're in a pit. You're in a fight pit right now.
Yeah.
With a guy who hates you. Like, if I were you, this would probably be one of the worst phases of my entire life.
Yeah, this room would literally be less depressing if he was alone. Because then you don't have a person resenting you the entire time.
God.
The finger starts moving to the right, going down the line to introduce them. We got Orlando, the oldest. He coaches sports at the community center. Then Ian, he owns some music production company. Grant and Blake run a digital marketing service together. There's Vince. He ended up going on to teach at this university just uptown. Eve here, her name's Yvonne, but we call her Eve. She owns a car shop. I think she's starting to franchise it too. Big things for them all. Oh, and me, of course, between Eve and Mom. My mom, Rain, she's the best, dude. She makes the best chili. She would love you. She loves all my friends. So you're part terrier and part hyena? He nods. Yep. Every time Mom got pregnant, they flipped a coin. Head, she'd have a dog. Tails, she'd have Ian.
It's really funny.
She just like honors the coin flip and then she like clenches, changes the outcome.
Jesus Christ!
I'm pretty sure that's not how that works. I mean, it's simple math, Zander. 1 dog plus 1 yin equals a 50-50 chance of getting a dog or a yin. Obviously,
can't refute that.
Mixed race doesn't exist in the setting. Yes, Redline, I also took biology, where we agreed this is the only way that things can work. I also knows that how breeds are determined. I know how sex works. Prove it. Do you know how it works? See, Zander, when a mommy and a daddy love each other very much, and they don't use protection... stop. When a mommy gets absolutely railed by a daddy... Stop.
That's fucking hilarious.
Redline laughs it off and starts scrolling through his saved photos. He has a whole folder filled with just pictures of his family. That's weird, right?
No! No. Oh my god.
Let me out! Let me out!
Is this character an alien? Like,
oh no!
Incredible.
Oh.
He's a spore. He was spored off with 1,000 siblings
Jesus
in one
Christ.
giant litter of other spores that were just spreading
Jesus
across
Christ.
this entire planet.
I get not relating to Redline, I just don't get being confused by Redline. Because if you don't have like a super close, amazing relationship with the other family, you see other people that do, and you're jealous of those people. And you're like, damn, that must be nice. You don't just become 30 and never consider that as a concept. Like, I don't understand. I guess there might be 20 something. I think it's 20 something, whatever. But it's like, what do you mean? I'm super jealous of people that like have like in jokes with their siblings and shit. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
no.
Seriously. Until I met people with like healthy relationships with their parents, I assumed it was impossible.
And that's how we all got here. Listen, there's a triangle.
The only parent I need is video games.
There's a triangle of the what is it, like work, sleep, blah blah blah. This is a different triangle. It's do you become a YouTuber, or do you have a healthy relationship with your parents?
What's the third point of the triangle?
Neurotypical.
It's okay. He's gonna think about it and tell me later. I'm sorry to improv jump scared you.
I didn't plan ahead. Let's see. I think the third core of the triangle is ADHD, considering everyone we met last week. Just as a total.
I mean, Marty was there too.
Sure. Marty's hosting his parents this weekend. So that, and also isn't a YouTuber. So not a great data point on this chart. This is up to at the cabins in the Northland. It's a similar looking photo as the desktop, but this one time everyone's wearing expensive looking winter gear, all standing in front of a huge log cabin. How funny would it be to page through just a dozen photos and it's all the exact same people in the exact same configuration and poses, but they keep having different clothes and backgrounds?
That would be really funny. That would be a running gag, you know?
Like, you just keep taking the exact same photo years apart across the world.
I could see a family doing that as a running joke.
Yeah,
you know?
a functioning one. Have we hit this note enough times, everyone?
A huge log cabin. Is Redline gonna end up being rich?
Maybe.
Is he a trust fund need?
I mean, if you have a giant family, you're either extremely impoverished or rich. Because how the fuck are you gonna have like 6 kids or whatever that was?
Yeah, true.
It's a similar looking photo as the desktop, but this time everyone's wearing expensive looking winter gear, all standing in front of a huge log cabin, and we know he's not extremely impoverished because he's good at fighting games. So he had video game consoles at least. Grandpa owned a property and let us stay there every solstice.
Rich.
You know, my folks never had money for stuff like that, but I've heard tales of families that take vacations like that.
Tales?
I've heard tales of family vacations from the before times. I got so used to family vacations that once I became an adult and moved out, I just didn't go on a vacation for 10 years because I
haven't gone on a vacation in ages. I guess there was Sacramento.
Or 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
When we just saw each other.
But, I mean, it's still like not something I do very often at all.
No.
And Sacramento was like 3 days.
Yeah. No, it was a thing where I didn't like fully register, like, oh right, I could just do those and I need to just do them on my own, and the whole thing's just like a self-driven process because vacations just happened to me for long enough that I didn't like seek them out. But now I've been to like 10 furry conventions the last 2 years, so that's technically vacations.
Yeah.
Skiing, snowboarding, hot cocoa around a fire pit, all sorts of magical solstice trips that were never in my reach. And all things that Redline is showing me photos of right now. Ian and Eve doing some sort of jump off a snowboarding ramp, Vincent and their mom getting ready to ski, and Orlando sitting on a couch, his arm in a cast.
Haha.
The least believable thing about this is that Zander immediately has everyone's names memorized. And isn't just like, someone, and then someone else, and so on. Even when I'm paying full attention, I will not internalize the names of your entire family based on a photo and then be able to interpret the photo book on the fly. Especially when they're all hyenas. Is it? that was the last year he tried skiing. But he still had fun watching the rest of us. I had a similar experience. I hurt myself skiing, and then immediately it wasn't any fun anymore after having skied for like probably like 8 years or something. But then I had like a bad fall, and then it was like, then I just didn't like thinking about it anymore.
Yeah,
not that consistently. Yeah, it was like twice a year or something, like skiing. So it wasn't like super. I wasn't like good at it. I was always shaky enough to be a little worried. But once I got hurt, I was like, I don't really like thinking about this anymore. I'm gonna hang out and have cocoa.
My experience with skiing is taking skiing lessons and then so much time passing that the next time I went skiing, I had to take skiing lessons again. And it was just that. Every time I've ever been skiing, it's been to take skiing lessons.
No.
Yeah,
we had our own boots and skis and everything.
Oh, that's nice.
I was good enough at skiing that I had like the you know, when you learn like one software and then there's like equivalent softwares, but you'll never use them because you'd have to relearn how to do with the things you already know how to do. It's like, I was good enough at skiing that I was given a snowboard one day and for a trip, and I'm like, no, this is agony. This is agony because I can't do it, but I can ski, and it's like almost the same thing. So it's actively infuriating that I can't snowboard, and I don't want to ever touch it again. There's 100 or 200 photos of the lodge strips in here. They look happy, except Boris, but he doesn't look like the type that smiles for photos too often.
Okay, to be fair, if someone shows me 200 photos of their family on a vacation, I'm checking out real quick.
Yeah. I don't know if... I imagine because it's on a phone, it's more like he scrolled through a giant grid looking for ones to show, and it's like... So you can just see the enormity of it flying by, like the fucking... The screen, like the screen room in the Matrix. How come every picture of you is all blurry?
I'm gonna guess it's because he doesn't sit still.
Every time there's a picture of you, it's out of focus. Oh, Mom always had me take pictures for the family. She said I had an eye for photography. Of course, when it was my turn, Mom needed someone else to take the photos. Everyone else was usually too busy, so Mom took mine for me. A little bit unsteady though, but it's nice to go back to these memories. I think that we're gonna find out that his mom had a degenerative disease and struggled to hold the camera, and he took all the other photos that of the family otherwise. Nice of her to make sure you're included though. He chuckles a little quieter. Oh. Yeah, Mom always said she liked me the best.
Damn.
I mean, she likes all of us equally. She just, Redline flips back to another family photo. Rain's holding a young Redline, probably around 6 or 7 years old here. We're going way back, huh? Okay. Mom sort of babied me. Always used to call her... always used to call me her sweet little yeeny beanie.
Yeah, she did.
Sweet little yeeny beanie. Jesus Christ. That's an actual... I'm pretty sure I've heard a gay guy call someone else that before in real life. Which was cute for a while, but, like, gets less cute when I'm trying to take my date to prom, you know? Always said she wanted a girl, so they just kept trying till she got one. Lucky her. Lucky her also got a +1 with Eve. The oddest pair of twins I've ever seen. Oh, so Eve's a twin.
I'm guessing one's a terrier, the other's a yin.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Sure, Eve was bigger and born before me. I mean, they all were, and finally got Mom the girl she wanted. Then why is this an explanation of why she babied you specifically that way? But hey, she got me too, right? Like, extra thighs in the bottom of the bag, like the ones I'm always trying to share you. Now it's symbolic? That's a depressing way to refer to a baby, like extra fries at the bottom of the bag. His smile wavers as he stares at the screen. A mother hyena and her son, smiling in some now outdated fashion. Eve, Ian, and Vince always called me a mama's boy, and I definitely was for a while. Whenever they'd pick on me or play too rough, Mom always had to step in to protect me. and the rest of them would get punished. Guess it makes sense now that they picked on me for that. I guess it's also kind of my fault for trying to play with them too, biting off more than I can chew, right? Redline breathes heavy and blinks, swiping at his eye. Sorry, I must be boring you with all these pictures.
Yes.
A few quick clicks in the folder with the family photos is closed. The photo of his desktop remains, though. He turns to me. Oh, right, this was all photos on his computer. Which makes it easier for him to see hundreds of them in volume.
Yeah, I guess
because this is a whole folder, yeah. Sorry, Redline shakes his head and takes a deep breath. What about you, your family? I don't think I'm ready to have this kind of talk with Redline just yet. We, didn't go on those kinds of trips, that's for sure. Why not? Did deer not like the cold, or do you guys, like, hibernate? No, I mean, no, my parents didn't really care for the cold. It makes me wonder why they chose to live so far north, but that's whatever. But, yeah, no brothers or sisters or anything like that. Just me. Aw, dude, I got siblings to spare. Blake and Grant would love you. Well, maybe. They're hard to talk to sometimes. My mom would make you some fancy vegetarian food, I bet. Thanks, I'll take you up on that offer. Sounds good. I'll just save up some vacation time so we can take a trip when you get some.
Oh my
Looking
God.
forward to it. Not that I'd get any time in the first place. Then maybe that's not a bad idea if a miracle happens. But if they're anything like Redline, it sounds like a loud vacation. Not too keen on the sound of that. What about your parents? Oh boy. They're, nice? Nailed it. Looks like he's expecting more. Very, keen on my success? Always talked about how good my grades were, and Dad seemed really happy when I moved from boxing to MMA. Not that I had much of a choice. He always tried to get me to watch MMA fights. It was the only thing he ever seemed to actually want to sit down and watch with me. Ah, a family that fights together. You could say that. My dad did the same thing. Well, sort of. Grandma made my dad take up martial arts, and he passed that down to us. Only Orlando, Vince, and Eve and me still do anything with it, though. And I'm the only one making a living out of it. He seems pretty proud of that fact, with his chest puffed out and chin held high. I guess it is actually very impressive. That's pretty cool. I don't think my mom could have handled more kids. She barely was able to juggle taking me to practice. Not for lack of trying, but it was just a lot to handle with her work schedule. But, yeah, that's my family. I still don't think he's too satisfied, but that's only fair. I admitted all the bad stuff, and he doesn't need to worry about that. Redline doesn't seem convinced either, but I think he's waiting for me to give more. Not that I'm particularly willing to. I don't have a photo album or anything like what you have, though. That must mean a lot to you. Oh, definitely. I mean, you saw them all, right? They're so big and cool. Look at all my large family of large family members. And, you know, successful. Gotta make sure I keep up with the rest of them, right? There's that uncomfortable smile again. The same as when we were talking about rain, paired with the silence that usually lingers between us. After a moment or two of scrolling through some more pictures, Redline leans back with a big stretch. What a nice walk down memory lane. Thanks for joining me, Zander. It felt more like he was dragging me along, but I'm just not crying anymore. Jesus Christ.
There's the Zander. There he is. I knew it.
Just spitefully humoring him so he doesn't cry. No problem. No. That's the wrong response, Zander. That's the
No, it's...
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Like watching
or something.
a couple... It's like watching a couple that's been together for like ages and like the spark's gone, and one of them is trying to bring it back, and they're putting in all of the effort, but the other person is totally checked out. That's what it feels like the entire time.
It's brutal. It's just like no problem suggests that like it's the equivalent of like saying you're welcome. You're like, what? For talking to you? What the fuck? Is this social interaction? Redline stands back up, doing an even bigger stretch this time. I think I'm gonna head to the gym. Get my body moving a bit. You wanna join me?
No.
My ribs. Oh, right, dude. Of course. Sorry, you wanna just hang out here? I shake my head and return to my phone. Fully charged. I pocket it. That was fast. Nah, I've gotta take care of some stuff. Have fun in the gym. It almost sounded salty as I said it, but I didn't mean any harm behind it. Redline smiles. Oh, alright. For sure, dude. I'll see you around. Bye. Enjoy making other people happy, I guess. Jesus Christ. We both exit the room and part ways as he heads down the hall. His ears aren't perked like they normally are. No!
Oh.
The most frustrating thing is that all of our observations happen through Zander, which means he's technically observing these things about that Redline and the toll that he's taking on him.
He's very keenly taking account of what physical traits, what the body language of the person he's making sad.
He's his personal blast radius. I pass into the emergency staircase, seemingly alone again, at last. And now to find something else to do.
You go back to your room. You
hang out with Redline. You can just immediately hang out with Redline.
That's actually really funny.
That makes it very funny that they made the point of not hanging out with Redline already. I guess these might be like route splits or something. I don't know.
I think so.
Maybe when you do a certain number of times, it like locks in an outcome. I have no idea.
I have no clue.
I'm just not sure how much I care about Drayden, and I don't know what the fuck watching people train amounts to. What? I don't know.
I don't know.
You want to dig into Drayden's inner world?
Yeah. Which one's Drayden again?
The doctor.
Then let's do it.
It's like hanging out with the teacher. Except the teacher is the fucking gym guy, so it's just being like
that's called the gym teacher.
Yeah, I guess going back to your it's almost like it feels a little bit more like, hey, girl behind the counter at GameStop, I just keep coming by to talk to you. You're like, why are you here? This is weird. Therapy.
Oh.
Drayden's tender voice rings annoyingly in my ear when that word comes up. Isn't that stuff safe for people that have been through dangerous events or whatever? Wars and stuff? You got your chest caved in. Like what what happens with the Thing? Except instead of your chest biting him, you just gave up and caved in like normal. Lame. Whatever. Talking about my parents has got me a little heated, I think. Feels like someone gripped my stomach and crumpled it up when Redline asked about what they were like. All that talk about his family. Got to go on vacations, and they're all so successful. Nice clothes, loving parents. Fuck. A twinge of pain shocks my ribs. Right? Can't afford to forget that's there. Fuck it. Whip out the phone and call up Drayden. He gave me his number after my last fight with Bruce. It rings once, then he picks up.
Hello, Zander.
Oh. That sing-songy infection's contagious.
Zander.
Hey, doctor, are you free?
Of course. Is everything all right?
When you're not here, no one else visits. No one else gets hurt, actually. So... Stop showing up. I like not working. Like Keith's therapist that's gone AWOL for 4 months. My ribs hurt. Not exactly a lie, but I think I just need someone to talk to. Yeah, if only there was someone to talk to.
Oh my god. This story is awesome.
So mean.
I don't think I can get you more pain pills.
No, I don't need any of that.
Oh, good. Are you resting?
I sigh. Look, can I just come see you? There's a weird pause, but Drayden speaks.
Of course, Zander. I'll be in the room you had earlier.
So that the background is consistent. Cool, see you then. I hang up and make my way toward the medbay. That was annoying. Though I guess he is supposed to be careful with medication as strong as ours. Yeah, they're called opiates.
Mm-hmm.
There's some kind of, like, global, what do you call it? Zerg creep. Zerg creep of opidemics.
Mm-hmm.
Opidemics? God damn it.
Opidemics.
The opidemic. That's probably, if I search that, I'd probably get at least one news article that was a little too creative.
Oh, yeah. No, that sounds like a local newspaper that really had some tasteless writing. Anyway.
As I begin that long trek, a thought occurs to me. Hey, this actually kind of fucking sucks. And I really don't want to talk about this with Drayden. Okay?
Okay.
Every fiber of my being is tugging at me to turn on my heels and go back to my room. Take the night off. Maybe try that game again with Redline.
Oh, he doesn't deserve that.
You don't want to do that at all. Stop hurting Redline. Getting my ass handed to me by Redline again doesn't sound like my idea of a relaxing evening, though. And I already told Drayden I'd be there in a few minutes. Disappointing him twice in the same day? I'd like to not upset the person that handles my delicate medical procedures. I don't want to do this. Why did we do it then? You decided to do it 30 seconds ago. Unprompted. It's all that I can think about. The knot in my stomach tightening as my legs carry me to the room. Before I know it, I'm sitting up in that bed. Again. And Drayden's sitting across from me. Again. You didn't have to sit in the medical bed. You're not... I don't think you're here to be a patient. The feline smiles at me.
It's just more comfortable. It's got his ass groove still in it.
Because he's been there for, for so long. It's just more subtle digs.
A pleasure to see you again, Zander. What can I do for you? You said your ribs were acting up again?
Welcome back, Zander. The only patient of mine that has their own room, with the plaque and everything.
Yeah.
I fidget. Yeah, I was talking with the Redline and it just started, I wasn't exercising or anything, so you don't need to worry about that. That pain pulses again. This is getting annoying. Why can't I just say what I need? What do I need? I need to fight through this. I need to get out of this contract. I need to start doing what I came down here to do. But if I don't rest, my body won't be ready to train again. And if I'm not training, I can't win the fight. And if I can't win the fight, I'll end up getting hurt again. I'll get sent back here and...
Zander?
I look up. Drayden looks a little more concerned than before.
You spaced out.
Yeah. He smiles.
You've been doing that a lot, Red tells me.
Also, I told you were doing that last time we talked.
Mm-hmm.
I sigh, and Drayden readjusts himself on the chair.
What's going on, Zander?
Fine. Everything's been bad since I got down here. I thought things were going to be easier. I thought once I got into the league, it would be like it was topside, but with less worry. I could just train and fight. No more dead-end job, no more money troubles, no more of my shitty apartment, no more... Just then my phone buzzes violently in my pocket. I peek at the screen. No more of these stupid fucking calls. I toss the phone next to me onto the bed.
Who's calling you?
My dad.
Ah, it's been a while since you've seen your family. But judging from your reactions just now, something tells me you don't want to. Can I ask why you don't pick up?
That's a bit of a heavy subject.
Maybe I can help you carry it.
I glare at him. He clicks his pen and smiles at me. That's the moral of the story. He's gonna defeat the freight train nightmare dinosaur boss, but with the power of friendship. They'll just all enter the arena.
Oh. I mean, they already play very fast and loose with laws, rules, ethics. Might as well just put together a fucking team.
Yeah. Like, we don't know their history, but I'm like, I don't know, Zander, maybe your dad's calling you because he saw your chest get caved in on live on TV. That was a bit worrying. You're not gonna make me do some weird psycho-hypnosis bullshit, are you? What?
Yes.
He pauses for a moment. I don't like how long it lasts.
Not unless it's necessary. A little doctor humor. That was a joke.
Drayden clears his throat.
So, your father.
Maybe this was a mistake. I close my eyes as I speak. Dad was an asshole. I mean, he wasn't always bad. I remember growing up and he would take me out to ball games and fights. But none of that gay pro wrestling shit. But none of that gay... We only ever went to watch MMA fights. And... That's a weird place to trail off when talking about...
So funny.
Yeah, it's like trailing off about your dad. You're like, well, we didn't do any gay stuff, though. We're like, you what? What'd you just say, Zander?
Yeah, that's putting your... I was trying to figure out what about that phrasing was really unintentionally funny, but it's that, yeah.
Yeah. To the outside, you don't have the context of his thought, so you're of like his dad traumatizing him. So you're like, "Excuse me." And we would stream FANG fights back when he could get me to watch them with him.
That sounds like fun. What was the first thing you said there? Can we go back to that one?
None of the what?
That sounds like fun. Did you enjoy it?
I did. I think I did. I hear the cat write something down. It feels like I'm giving him too much information.
Did something happen to change that?
My dad lost his job back when I was just getting into high school. I have to pick up your father from the police station. He got in a fight with a coworker. I think these might be all different people. I'm trying to guess who I'm listening to here.
I think that one line was from the dad, and then this line's from his mom.
Yeah, they fired you over that. Good riddance. People like that should just be kept. Should just keep it in the bedroom. Oh boy,
I have no idea.
And he just sort of sat around the house ever since. Complained a lot, drank a lot more.
How old are you, Zander?
You should know that. You're my doctor.
How much do you weigh?
I think, it's like, wait, these are supposed to be on the sheet. This is the second and third line of the sheet.
Bones are weird, man.
Do you have a blood type, or should I just pick one that based on vibes? I could guess. I'm pretty good at guessing. 24. He scribbled something down.
He scribbled down to your age, most likely. Not something. That must have been hard on your family.
Finally completing this form. Just unrelated to him listening to the story at all. He's just like, by the way, what's your blood type? And your real name, apparently. I shrug.
You're a deer?
Fuck. I thought they had horns. I'm shaved off. I thought you were like a goat or something.
I've been giving you the wrong pills for everything. Oh no.
You have weeks to live. Mom supports us. And with Dad on unemployment, we went from only sort of broke to pretty broke.
So money was tight from the start.
Yeah, I mean, they always did their best, I think. I got a nice present or two for Christmas, and they paid for my boxing classes. Well, Dad used to. Said it was going to make me into a real man. Drayden sort of snickers at that.
Come on.
Uh-huh.
I don't know about this. Do you think it worked?
Speaking as somebody who was signed up for martial arts to become a real man and is gay now, I got horrible news. Also, everyone in this building's gay. You really fucked up. Also, the gay people I know, so many people.
Drayden's like, did that work? I'm going to add that to my practice if it worked.
Popping out in the way they wanted.
Did you like boxing, Zander?
I did. I mean, I do still, but MMA just feels more natural to me. I'm a lot more flexible now than I was when I was younger. I can wrestle a lot better too. And it made me braver, and I don't want you near that coach anymore. You're doing MMA now. Dad never did like my boxing coach.
Why not?
They had their differences. Your father just wants what's best for you. You're gonna be fighting with real men, none of these queers in that other gym. My son ended up like him. I'd shoot him on the spot. The guys at Dad's new gym were intense. They went a lot harder than my friends in boxing. Get any knockouts? No. They hit me too hard, Dad. Just like every class. I don't feel good. Don't be such a pussy. It builds character. When I was a kid, you'd get your ass beat for even looking at a guy wrong. But it's fine. I turned 16 and I got a job and moved out. That's extremely fucking early. Jesus.
Yeah, wow.
I didn't have a driver's license yet because I procrastinated a lot. Drayden goes quiet for a second, and I open my eyes to see him holding out a tissue. I hadn't realized that the tears rolling down my face.
I feel like we skipped over a bit of that. Why did you move out?
Alex, your father and I found your phone. We saw some interesting things. Did you send those messages? What the fuck were you thinking? I can't do this. Stop. You see the way she's crying? This is your fault. You're gonna get the fuck out of my house. Kenneth, please, at least let him get the fuck out, Alex.
Zander?
I open my eyes. Drayden's holding the box of tissues out to me.
Breathe.
I'm crying harder than I had thought. The doctor places a paw on my shoulder, holding me tenderly. I take the box and sit on the bed next to me. My breathing steadies after a moment. I snatch a tissue and blow my nose, crumpling it and dropping it next to the box. When I was 16, I moved out. Mom found out I was gay and told Dad.
Zander.
I was planning on leaving anyway. It's fine. I'm fine.
Uh-huh. Are you?
Yeah. I sniffle and wipe my eyes with another tissue. Drayden makes a disapproving sound. Didn't have anything planned out yet. I didn't have a lot of friends to go to, so...
Alex? What are you doing here?
Can I stay with you?
Of course. It's been a while. What's going on?
Is it his ex or something? I wonder.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Okay. I'm so sorry, Zander. Where did you end up staying?
Oh, the boxing coach.
Yeah, okay.
It's like a gay mentor figure because it's specifically the person that his dad hated when he found out.
Gotcha. Yeah.
My old boxing coach, Vinny, he gave me a place to crash while I figured things out.
The one your father didn't like?
Yeah. I crumple up my tissue.
What kind of messages did they find?
Just asking Vinny about gay stuff, how to know if I was gay, what I should even be doing, I don't know. I didn't know anything. I was scared, and Vinny was the only adult I knew that had any information about any of that. I shouldn't have been sending those messages in the first place. It was a stupid idea. I knew my parents would have I knew how my parents would have reacted.
Does that give them justification for kicking you out?
They didn't kick me out. I chose to move out.
He told you to... Didn't he just say, get the fuck out or something?
Yeah, no, he's full of it.
I see. They didn't give you a choice.
So I moved out on my own.
And you're just okay with that?
No. I don't know what I did wrong. They raised me right. They loved me when I was a kid. Why did that change? The tears followed the stream. They formed down my cheeks. I wanted to fix myself. I wanted to stop. I wanted to be better for them.
Zander. Do you think you could do anything that would make them happy?
I shake my head. I don't know.
Do you mind if I make some assumptions?
This feels like a danger. This feels
kind
like a wild
terrifying
question.
thing to hear from your therapist.
Who's not your
like
therapist,
that.
by the way? My heavy breathing slows a bit before I shake my head. Drayden continues, his eyes narrowing.
You never could be good enough for them. No matter what you did or what you changed about yourself, it would never be enough.
My head drops. I'm bent forward, holding myself up as I sob into my hands.
Giving up boxing and becoming straight, that might have made them happy. But that's not you. Nothing you do will ever be good enough for them. And if they can't bring themselves to be happy with you, that's their own fault. You're so young, Zander. You have so much of your life ahead of you, and it's time you start doing things for your own happiness. You need to consider what's going to make you happy.
It takes a moment for me to catch my breath. He's right. I know he's right. I need him to be right, otherwise all this anger I've let sit inside me for years will have been for nothing. So what I find interesting about this is that his dad's calling him actively, and he's not picking up. Which doesn't...
His dad's probably on his deathbed, right? And it's like, I want to make atonement with my kid.
Maybe it is something like that, yeah. But it's like, I'm curious how long he's been calling for, or what's going on there, because it's like... Because yeah, if you're like excommunicated and you're like the child that the parents try to continue not acknowledging, essentially, then you don't expect them to be calling you actively. So I'm curious what's going on there.
I'm betting like the dad has cancer or something.
I mean, for starters, I'd like to stop fighting Bruce. That'd make me pretty fucking stoked. The words feel like acid spilling out of my mouth, but Drayden laughs anyway. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I mean, outside all this, clearly it's still hurting you.
I don't know. I thought moving out would fix it. I thought it did fix it.
But you're still afraid whenever he calls.
Yeah. Why are you smiling right
Why
now?
haven't you blocked? Why? Drayden's asking the question that I was going to ask earlier, which is, why haven't you blocked his number yet? Phones can do that these days. Isn't that crazy? I just found out.
I don't know. It's a metaphor.
Ah. Do you think you'll ever answer the call?
I don't know. I'm sorry. He only smiles at me.
I don't want you apologizing to me like that, Zander. You haven't done anything wrong.
I shake my head. It feels heavy. Yesterday, I got mad at Redline. And today. And every day.
Yeah, he mentioned that. Said he doesn't know why, though. Are you comfortable sharing?
The commissioner called me in earlier before that. I thought we were going to talk about the contracts of the fights. He just yelled at me about a comment I made on Headkick.
So he kinda did that.
Yeah, he threatened you with your contract. Drayden starts to ask a question, but I answer it for him. It's a social media site for us exercise types.
The fuck does that mean?
This is like a forum, basically.
Okay. No, what's an exercise type? That's the part I found confusing. An athlete, maybe?
Yeah. Fitness.
Okay.
Like a fitness site.
Okay.
He smiles and scribbles something down. I was trying to clarify something, but it kind of blew up, and I guess it broke my contract. I want to get my fights figured out. I can't keep fighting Bruce, but the commissioner, he just
Didn't listen.
shuts me down. I was trying to defend myself. I was just trying to stay alive down here. It feels like my body's forcing more tears at this point. I just let them trail down my face. I lost it. I don't remember anything after that. I don't know. Sometimes I get mad and I don't know what to do. It feels like I'm carrying 100 extra pounds underwater. I can't feel things. My body just drags itself and I lose control. Drayden writes something down, then looks back up at me.
Does this sort of thing happen often, Zander?
I guess so. It happened a lot more often when I lived with my parents.
And since you came down here?
Yeah, it did. In the cafeteria, Bruce shoved me and I just sort of spaced out. And Redline in the gym, when he dropped me and all the other guys saw.
Why do you think this happens? Where you lock up and can't feel things?
I'm gonna take a stab in the dark and say something. It says. I'm gonna take a stab in the dark and say it has something to do with my parents. Drayden giggles.
Well, I'm not gonna say that's not the reason, but I think there's more to the core issue. Sure, they might have contributed to the cause, but removing them isn't the whole cure. Even if a wound heals, lasting effects may endure. A person with a broken leg may suffer mobility issues for the rest of their life.
So, because of things I had no control over, I'm fucked for life?
I mean, yeah. There's lots of instances where that's definitely true for most people. Anyway, I'd rather put a positive spin on things. Try seeing it as a chance to modify your behavior in certain circumstances. If someone's shoulder is damaged, they may have limited range of motion for a long time. Sure, it may suck a lot, but they can learn their limits and control what they're able to do. So if you find yourself in a position where you can feel one of these episodes coming on, we can try grounding yourself. I hope it doesn't happen, but if you find yourself getting frustrated, I want you to just touch something. Anything physical. Anything that can remind you that you are still here.
And then he kisses Redline.
Grounding can help you realign with reality. Focusing on something in your present moment can help turn your attention away from these intense negative emotions. Of course, we won't be ignoring them or pretending like they don't exist, but you can control your mood. But if you can control your mood, you can control your actions easier. And I want you to focus on your breathing. In and out, very slowly.
He gives an example of how I'm meant to breathe, and I mirror it. I'm still a little worked up from earlier, so my breaths are a bit shaky. In and out. In and out.
You're just a person breathing. That's all you need to be. You are exactly who you are meant to be. You are doing the best you can.
A few moments of breathing. After a while, the shakiness subsides. I have control over my breathing, and my heart rate has died down.
How do you feel, Zander?
His voice gently peels away the silence. I feel better?
Good. I want to thank you for sharing all this with me. I imagine it's not easy to think back on these memories.
I try to ignore them.
But it's important to learn from them. They're affecting your behavior, and it's much easier to make a positive change to your behavior if we're able to take a look at what may have caused them.
Yes, that makes sense.
Wonderful! I think now's a good time to call it for today. And I've got another meeting in a bit. Before you leave, is there anything I can do for you?
There's a lot that I want, but not anything that he can do about it. Feels good to finally have that off my chest, though. I don't think I've shared that with anyone besides Vinny. And why should I? No one else should have to deal with that. And I don't want people treating me different because of it. Still, Drayden doesn't seem to be talking down to me. I don't think there is. What do I do now?
Like, right now? I suppose you could get some food or read a book, or maybe...
No, I mean, like, what do I do if he calls again?
I'm not entirely sure. What do you want to do?
I'm still not sure either. Sorry. He shakes his head and stands up, moving closer to me. Drayden starts picking up the tissues I've balled up and dropped on the mattress.
I told you before, you don't need to apologize for things like that.
The fuck?
These things can be complicated. All we can do is try to piece things together. But I always think it's easier with a little help. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I guess you might be right.
I'll take that as a win for me.
The two of us chuckle as we finish cleaning up. Drayden makes his way to another office and sees me off to the exit of the medbay. I feel weird. A little heavy, but lighter at the same time. My chest doesn't hurt a whole lot, though, which is weird considering how much crying I just did. Ugh. I hope the tears don't mark my fur up too much. How else am I supposed to occupy my time? Wait, what?
Again.
Wait. What?
It'll probably just say something like, I just did that, I don't want to do that again, or something. But I kind of want you to save and find out. If you would indulge me on that. Like, it has to say something like...
Drayden's handling some other business right now. I feel like I need a break anyways. It's
okay,
funny
so
that
we probably can do all three of these.
It's funny that they didn't, like, create a... They didn't just, like, edit it to, like, not show the one you've done before already.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe you can do all of them? I don't know. I feel like last time I picked Redline and that's all we did.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I guess we've never watched people train before.
That sounds really exciting. Let's fucking go.
Uh-huh. I might need to change a scene. Bucky's probably coaching a class right now. Oh, that's what it means.
Oh, no.
It means Australian time.
No!
I know I'm not supposed to train, but Drayden won't get mad if I just watch people exercise, right? And Drayden told Bucky I'm not allowed to train, so I doubt he'd even let me in the first place. Bucky seems like a calmer presence than Redline, too. Feels like what I need after all that. Let's go have a chat with Bucky. I head down the hall toward the gyms. You were tricked.
I thought I'd be watching people train, not Australian time.
The halls have been getting more familiar to me these days. I guess that's what happens after a month of being locked underground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, usually it would take somebody 2 or 3 days, but a month.
Yeah, 2 months. It's fine. Normal amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
I say that as if it was against my own will. I wanted to come down here. I've been wanting to come down here for a while. Just was hoping for some better circumstances. The smell of the gym sort of lingers around the first floor. You can smell it coming a mile away. Nothing potent, of course. Just just something you can smell from far away. But it's definitely noticeable whenever I step into the hallways. The sound, too. But there's always some sort of chatter echoing these halls. Even at quiet times, there's a rowdy guy or 2 or 12 stepping out of a gym room. The only genuine silence is at night. Or in our room, whenever Redline is out. It's actually kind of eerie when it does happen, like it's not supposed to be there. It only gets louder as I approach the gym rooms. I can hear Bucky yell out a command, followed by a chorus of leather slamming into training pads. More yelling, more pads. He's got a really loud voice, at least, it carries nicely. I never once had trouble hearing him over the rest of the noise in the gym. Blah. I made it to the door, but there's still some butterflies in my stomach. He probably wouldn't be happy to hear that I've been effectively banned from working out for a bit. Maybe I should turn back. Go do something else with my time.
God damn it. Every time he's about to make a commitment to something, he's like, I don't want to do it anymore.
It's like he doesn't want to ever talk to any paternal figure that he might disappoint.
Mm-hmm. Aye, Zander. Australia tune begins.
This is the Australian theme. The butterflies stir, and my head snaps through the window into the gym. What?
Ow.
Ow.
Jesus.
That's... Bucky's standing inside, waving me in with a big smile on his face. There's no real way out of this now, so I step inside. There's about 12 guys in here, each of them a little bigger than me. Half of them are holding hefty training pads, while the other half are practicing their technique on them. Bucky's leaning against a small countertop that runs alongside the entrance to the space, watching on with arms folded over his chest. His head turns to see me as I come around, standing next to him.
Zander, how's it going? You here to do a bit of sparring?
He seems excited. I thought Drayden already told him I couldn't. As tempting as the offer to punch someone is, I feel like the wrath of a doctor is something I really don't want to face again. I shake my head at Bucky. No, sir. Drayden's got me off for a week. I thought he told you. Bucky nods and grins.
Ah, that was the test. Good to see you're an honest fella. Not that I doubted you, of course. Yep, a good honest kid, Zander. Always speaks his mind and tells people what he's feeling.
Oh, twisting the knife. Very specifically never does that.
Mm-hmm.
The aggressive head rubbing really drives his point in. I feel weird batting away my coach's hand, so I let him just keep ruffling my hair.
Interesting.
Uh-huh. After a moment, he stops and chuckles.
Or maybe not. How'd that make you feel?
Loved it. I lied, reaching up to smooth my hair down a bit.
We'll work on it. What brings you by?
I'm not sure, actually. I can't really exercise, right? I just need some company.
Well, once you're done coming up with an excuse to talk to me, you can be my assistant coach for the day. How's that sound?
Before I can protest, a slightly too big baseball cap gets slapped onto my head. I lift it off and I take a look at the front. It says ass cooch.
That's a bit of training humor.
My assistant cooch.
Came back from the shop with a typo.
Couldn't you return it?
Return it? I had to steal this one before they sent the whole box back.
We needed a whole box of assistant coach hats for our hundreds of assistant coaches.
That's how many I burned through. You're next. Listen up.
Fuck, he's loud. Everyone turns their attention to us.
Zander here is gonna be our assistant coach today. Treat him the same.
He stops and looks down at me.
You gotta put the hat on, Zander.
I know better than to disobey my coach, and he's not exactly the type to budge on his weird rules. I slip it on, even though it doesn't fit perfectly over my little antler nubs.
Treat him the same as you would me. But no random gut shots. Doctor's orders.
He pats my shoulder. Bucky has them start off with some cardio drills and leans back against the countertop. People take random shots at your gut?
If they're brave or stupid, you should have seen red before you showed up. Little Spitfire couldn't keep his paws off me. It's a miracle I didn't end up starting a fight.
Yeah, I can relate. Bucky laughs at that.
What? Has he started anything with you?
Not exactly, unless you count that one punch on the first day of class.
Nah, that wasn't a fight. Consider that a work-mandated beatdown. I hope it didn't go too far.
I shrug.
Work-mandated beatdown is a real fucking phrase.
I used to play bass for work mandated. It's nothing I haven't experienced before. My old gym did something like that.
Alright.
Although nobody there was...
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Strong.
He flashes a cheesy grin. I wouldn't say that, but you know, group classes, they weren't exactly professional fighters. Even the rest of the guys in my class down here didn't really do anything. Not until Redline stepped up to the plate.
Stronger than he looks, I should have warned you with that one. Red's got drive.
And the rest of the guys down here don't? They say out loud in front of everyone.
Too shy.
French.
That's Australian for French for too shy. Not saying they aren't also capable of kicking ass. I mean... Oh, hang on.
Bucky moves out into the group, pulling one guy aside to correct his form. I guess I should probably do my job too, which I haven't been told what it is, but... which is easier said than done. These guys are all pretty experienced, it seems. Aside from the one outlier, everyone's got their form down. Not sure what I was expecting. These guys are professionals. It's a bit strange to describe myself like that. A professional, I mean. I'm good at what I do, obviously, but suddenly gaining that title feels a bit jarring. Hard to believe a little over a month ago I was stocking shelves for a living, and now I'm considered one of the top fighters in the country. Maybe when you win a fight. Okay, that might be going a little too far. I'm a 0-2 as a professional, so maybe being a top fighter is really only because I'm in a league with the best fighters, and I'm not sure if it even counts given my situation. And looking at the rest of these competitors, it's clear that I'm in the big leagues now. They're all a full weight class above me. Some of them are moving faster than the guys in my weight. Scary stuff. Typically, there's a trade-off between agility and strength depending on the weight of the fighter, but it's usually proportionally the same. Of course, Red and I can't hit as hard as Bruce, but we have much less weight than we need to move around in a fight, so we're much faster in comparison. These middleweights Bucky is training are at the midpoint of both speed and power. Oh, hey. Ah, sprites, hello. Hi, everybody.
Okay,
hello. How you guys doing? Are you characters or audience cameos?
Patreon.
Yeah.
Supporters.
Are they Patreon supporters? Speaking of which, I just got in contact with the artist, and our art is in progress.
Cool.
We'll have another bird and marrow thumbnail in this start style.
Yay!
The lizard guy next to me throws a jab, then a straight at his partner's pads. His leg lifts up and rocks into the other guy's side. The rat lets out a squeak and keeps holding the pads up. Excuse me. I wave my hand, approaching a few feet to the side of them to catch his eye. He doesn't look at me, instead sending out another jab to the pad, then a straight punch into the rat's face. Hey? Hello? He scoffs and stops to look at me. The rat awkwardly steps back.
What?
You should be hitting the pads, not your partner.
Okay.
He turns back to the rat.
Hands up.
The rat sheepishly lifts his pads, and the lizard continues, aiming a few blows to the practice pads and throwing in an extra somewhere on the other guy's body. Do I just ignore it? I could ask Bucky for help, but I don't want to go tattling to the coach. I'm an assistant coach. I have the authority to stop him, I think. Excuse me. The lizard guy groans and turns around.
What do you want?
You're practicing. You need to stop hitting your opponent. This isn't even sparring, you're just...
I know what I'm doing, thanks.
Right, but...
Alright, you got a problem, dude?
He steps forward, bumping me with his chest. The training around us seems to have cleared some space, making way for his outburst. I'm just trying to...
I'm not about to listen to some 0-2 loser tell me how to train.
The lizard steps forward and shoves me. I'm taken off guard, but I manage to brace myself and only stumble back a few steps.
Ryan!
It's an anagram for nyar.
Nyar!
Is it even called an anagram if you're just reading it backwards? Both of us...
Technically?
I was gonna say ambigram, but ambigrams are upside down. Both of us nearly jump as Bucky's voice pierces the air. The lizard, Ryan, apparently, darts his eyes to Bucky behind me.
Oh, excuse me. Lamps, now! Zoom.
I run well with my arms folded. He looks at Bucky,
too.
then down to me, then turns with a scoff before trotting out of the gym. Bucky approaches from behind and pats my shoulder.
Double time, everyone. You alright, Zander?
I'm fine, yeah.
Are you sure?
His thick hand grips my shoulder. It's incredible how his voice can go from terrifying to comforting in a matter of seconds. Yeah, honest, a little shaken up, but it's whatever. Bucky takes me back to the countertop, sighing as he leans against it.
We've been having problems with that guy since day one, I swear. He's angry, abrasive, violent, way too focused on trying to be manly, like he's trying to prove something to someone.
I think this game might have a theme.
Starting arguments was one thing, but now he's picking fights and getting physical with people. The other coaches sent him to me to try and get him in line, but I have no clue what to do.
Bucky shakes his head, watching the rest of the guys exercise.
And when he starts actually hitting people during practice, then everyone thinks they can. God damn it. Hey, come on.
The Roo steps away from the counter toward the group of boxers training. I can see one fighter near the back is going a bit too hard on his sparring partner. I'm glad Bucky's the one that has to deal with that. I've had to intervene a few times in the past. It's not exactly my favorite thing to do. These guys are bigger than me, fueled up on testosterone and looking for a fight. I'm not interested in being on the receiving end of that when it's outside my weight class.
Hey, coach, can I ask you something?
The rat fella from before grunts quietly, like he's not trying to call attention to himself. Was that meant for me, or did he mean to call for Bucky? After a few seconds of Bucky yelling down another one of the more aggressive guys and not looking this way, I realize this is my problem to deal with. The rest of the class goes by without much of a hitch, thankfully. I guess we don't know what that conversation was about. Bucky has the men
leave it to the imagination.
Bucky has the men run through drills for a while longer and even gives some tips on how to coach people better. He's pulling double time as coach. The coach. Almost feels unfair to the rest of the fighters. I've already had a bit of experience coaching here and there back in my old classes. There's a lot less work to do here, though, partially due to my injuries not letting me hold bags or participate in any drills. These guys are professionals. I don't need to hover around to make sure forms are correct. I still do, however, but there's a lot less correcting that needs to be done here. You said this already. The one rat guy that called for me is currently on the receiving end of Bucky's newbie initiation right now. Apparently he just got in last week, poor guy. I only had to deal with the lightweights punching me. This guy is decently well built, but I can still tell he's on the lighter end of his weight class. Still, he takes the rest of the fighters without too much of a problem. After they finish working the rat over, the rest of the fighters sort of disperse among themselves. But the new guy just sort of hobbles himself over the countertop by myself and Bucky. He has more than one expression. He's a character, probably.
Yeah.
Bucky, the sadist, has a grin on his face.
Good first class.
The rat wheezes at a laugh.
Those guys hit like a truck. I think I'm ready to go down a weight class.
Bucky laughs.
Oh, I think we can do something about that. You're already hovering near that weight. We'll get you settled in and see what we can do. Sound good? As long as I don't do that again.
He rubs his bruising midsection with a smile on his face. Can't you see his big smile?
Yeah. You're Zander, right? Coach Zander.
Ass Cooch Zander. I take the hat off and hand it to Bucky. I think it's just Zander now that class is over.
Right, yeah. Thanks for the help earlier. I didn't really know who to ask for help since Coach Bucky was busy. Some of these guys are fucking scary, dude.
As if on cue, Ryan, the lizard man from earlier, stomps back into the gym. His gym bag is still leaning against the wall, untouched. He's very sweaty and very angry. I swear his skin is almost turned red. He darts his eyes at me, and they straight at Bucky next to me.
Considering lizards are cold-blooded, them being so pissed off that they're glowing red is like...
He's a chameleon.
Incredibly angry, right?
He's just got color-changing powers.
I see.
He's a mood ring.
Excuse me for a second, boys.
Bucky hops toward Ryan, pulling him aside and leaving me alone with the rat guy. I drop down and sit next to him. Yeah, I know what you mean. A lot of these guys can be a lot.
Yeah, there's this one guy, he's a hyena. I think his name is Redline.
He never
He's really
shuts
annoying.
up.
You think he's annoying too? And then the romance arc.
He keeps trying to be nice,
Anyway.
but like in the worst way where it's like, stop it. I don't know how to return affection because we're men. Which is a bit of a paradox when we're also all gay.
Yeah. Anyway, I kind of got that vibe. I thought some of the fighters down here would be different than the ones topside.
Nah, assholes all the way down.
Damn. My old gym was full of them. Was kind of hoping it'd change once I hit the big leagues. But so far it's been more of the same. Every guy likes to think they're top of the world, I guess.
Well, we're like 1,000 feet underground, so they've got a ways to go. He chuckles at that.
What happened to you? Bucky said something about doctor's orders?
Yeah. You see the fight the other day?
Be more specific.
Mine, obviously. With Bruce, the big T-Rex guy.
Oh, the big dude. The big guy. Dude, the whole room popped off when he crushed your chest. That's fucking hilarious.
Uh-huh. So you remember.
Oh my god, that's funny.
That's disheartening to know. I think he can tell I'm not too pleased about that.
Hey, I didn't cheer. Just, you know, everyone else.
Dude, you see how he like almost killed a guy who was already on the ground for no reason? Whoa!
That's awesome.
He laughed a little
Wish that were me.
uncomfortably.
Just kidding.
Unless.
But, yeah. Thanks for all the help today. You seem approachable. Way better than the rest of these guys.
It's a good characteristic in a fighter.
And that stupid hooch hat probably helped.
I'm going to throw that thing through a fucking wood chipper.
Over my dead tail.
Which is what happens when I sit on it for too long. Bucky hops back over, seemingly more stern than before.
You alright, guys?
Can I see that hat?
Absolutely not.
He ruffles my hair. I can feel my face turn hot for a second.
Well,
The rat guy stands back up, wincing as his bruised abs bend and flex.
I should probably head out, shower off, all that fun stuff. Catch you guys tomorrow.
I'll be at the shower specifically at this time. Bucky waves him off, and the gym space feels quiet, and also is literally quiet. The background noise itself somehow faded to existence. I guess the air conditioner turned off. Save for the event of guys screwing around in the hallway.
How do you like your first time coaching, Zander? Was it everything you dreamed of?
I've helped coach classes before, topside.
Right. But this time, you got to wear a hat.
You don't know me. And I almost got in a fight.
Ah, right. That also happened, huh? You doing all right?
I shrug. Not the first time down here someone's tried to intimidate me.
All right. Oh, yeah, but Ryan can't push you around as easy as Bruce did in the cafeteria, eh?
And this week. When I'm made of paper. I glare at him. I didn't tell him about the cafeteria.
Redline. Of fucking course. Redline told me. Sounds like Bruce owes you a new smoothie.
I feel like that's pretty low on my wish list right now.
Ah, well, hopefully you can teach him a lesson one of these days.
Just like how you taught Ryan a lesson? You're gonna make Bruce run laps. Bucky sighs and drops down, sitting next to me with our backs up against the countertop. It's gonna be a bit of a long con, but you need to be in a position of power over Bruce in the organization, and then exploit that power to make him do what you want. And you win? Question mark?
I just don't know how to make these things stick, man. I swear every coach down here has had a talk with him about how aggressive he gets with the rest of the fighters, even outside the ring. But he goes off spouting some bullshit about manliness, like shoving dudes around and picking fights is supposed to make you a better person. I don't get it, Zander. These guys are so talented. They've got a great physicality and determination. But there's this brain poison or something just infecting them, all of them. They have to be the strongest or the most aggressive, like some dumb alpha wolf bullshit. I'm sure you've seen it.
This game is just explicitly about masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Some of these guys get some messed up ideas of what we're down here to do.
What, beat the shit out of each other? He pauses, then laughs a little.
Well, okay, so that's not entirely...
That's what they wrote on my contract, man. Just come down here and crack skulls. None of this being nice shit was my job description.
Oh, then you were qualified.
Yeah, you're all set, buddy. The kangaroo starts snickering under his breath. It's nice to see him smile. You are so gay.
That's very, yeah, that's very true. I'll have to get you some bonus for being so nice and helping me out today.
Oh no, I get all blushy when my coach ruffles my hair.
Mm-hmm. But you know what I mean, right? You see half these guys coming down here just to make people bleed and fuel their own ego. They don't care about the sportsmanship. They don't care about getting stronger. This is just an outlet for aggression. And you know it spreads easy. A lot of these guys steal their personality from some asshole at the gym. It's like they think fighting is all about being manly and angry, and that defines them as a person. Whoever can punch the hardest is the better man.
Think there's any way to fix it? Bucky lets out a sigh.
No clue. But the least I can do is try my best. Give them some love, some positive reinforcement, set a good example, help them, I don't know, channel their failings into something more productive.
Like punching people. He chuckles a bit and tussles my hair. Whoa.
I was thinking more like getting them to encourage and uplift their fellow man. The punching bit is just a part of the job. I'm at least glad you got someone like Red.
You must really value his company. Such a positive influence. Really?
Mm-hmm. Pup's probably the nicest fighter down here. Not like that's a hard contest to win, but he's at least a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, I guess. He scoffs.
You guess, eh? Or has he been shoving you around behind closed doors?
Not at all. If anything, he's too friendly.
What the fuck does that mean?
Imagine how much of an asshole he would sound like. Because I only just kind of put the fact like, oh, like we laughed at the stairwell because it sounded like we had the option to go talk to Redline again immediately. But I realized now, like, oh right, we picked hang out with Redline first, and we were still in that choice when we started this episode. So we're doing the third of the three options right now, and we're still in that series of choices. But imagine how funny it would be to have this conversation with him, then go hang out with Redline instead. And like we're that much of a dick to Redline right after Bucky was like, just a good thing you got Redline. He's so nice and great. The only exception to this woke mind." And then you just like, and then you just turn around and just start trash to Redline immediately anyway.
Don't look a gift eating in the mouth, Zander. Just try not to be too hard on him, okay? Yeah?
I'll do my best. Bucky's not wrong. I remember it too well. Both at the gym back home and just some of the people I know. Combat sports can feel like a breeding ground for shitty people sometimes. Aggressive, violent people will get good at the sport for the wrong reasons. They train people up to be like them, and the cycle continues. It's a mess. It's part of why I tried to keep my head down when I first got here. I know what these people are like. They're all like Bruce, really. Big, dumb, insecure, egotistical meatballs. Meatheads.
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia, that's a spicy dragon. Well, okay, maybe that's not entirely true. Redline and Bucky have been kind enough, and some of my friends probably won't try to assault me. Yet. Some of his friends, right? I'm like, what friends do you have? Hang on a minute. I knew I read the sentence wrong, because my sentence implied that our protagonist has friends.
Well, I mean, there's the concept of Redline.
What if like someone was like Redline, but they weren't Redline? That's the crucial part. Some of the guys topside roll, right? But they always started to stray towards the assholes. So it was really only a matter of time before they changed. I wonder if I could change any of that. Maybe I could have been more friendly, or, of course, that would open me up to the assholes pushing me around more, like they already did. I had enough as is. The commotion outside is getting a little louder. A lot of people are moving through the halls. Sounds like the cafeteria is going to be packed.
Hey, is Bruce giving you any more trouble?
Since the fight? I haven't seen him.
Ah, good. If he ever does, you come to me. I won't have any of my boys getting pushed around.
It'd be better if I could push back. Bucky chuckles and ruffles my hair again. I shake it back to normal and stand up in hopes of avoiding any further tussling.
That's why you got me here. I'll push back for you. Outside the ring, that is.
Want to do a little bit of tussling and... Whatever you say, coach. He stands up too, almost in a huff.
Why are you saying it like that? You think I can't?
I start making my way to the doorway. Yep. Looks like the cafeteria is as packed as ever. Even Bruce and some of his cronies are waiting in line. I don't know. His body's pretty rock hard. I've hit him more times than you, so I think I would know best. Bucky almost snorts at that, hopping up beside me.
That's so. Oi! Bruce!
Oh.
Oh boy.
After recovering from that deafening voice, I can see the dinosaur crank his head towards us. Those eyes dart down at me, and his brow furrows. He starts to move closer. What are you doing?
Oh my god. Proving a point. Come here, big guy. What? Zander here says you're too tough to be hurt.
I absolutely did not. Bruce rolls his eyes and smiles.
Oh, you telling everyone how much stronger I am than you? You must think I'm pretty turf.
That was a noise. And the blink
I'm just reading what I'm seeing.
Bucky's sucker punch was buried deep in Bruce's abs, folding the dinosaur over his fist in a sharp angle.
What the hell, old man? And that, Zander, is proof that no one's impervious.
Bruce stands upright, wincing a bit as Bucky's fist pulls out.
I wasn't even flexing. So you want another is what I'm hearing.
A second lightning-fast punch, and the air is strained through Bruce's gritted teeth. His muscles are tensed up, but from the sound of impact alone, I can tell Bucky's punch hurt.
You're gonna start thinking twice about punching out outside the ring, champ.
I can see a bead of sweat trickle down Bruce's head. He growls, and I can see his fists tighten. He glares at Bucky, then pauses, almost like he's reassessing. He turns to me, his biceps tense. Bruce snorts out some hot air and turns to the door.
Yeah, right. I've got food to eat. I'll crush you and your coach later, pipsqueak.
I've got a great appetite after all my organs were destroyed. Bruce forces his way through the crowd to rejoin his group of friends, who are now much further ahead in line. One of them turns to ask him something, and he barks something in return.
I hear
Bucky.
the sound of vomiting around the corner.
What could it mean? Bucky, on the other hand, has been laughing to himself. I got to punch a student, unprompted, twice.
Twice, yeah. Don't let these guys shake you over, Zander. Even Bruce is all bark.
Not all bark.
I'm not sure about that.
All bark and some bite.
A lot of bite, yes. But now you know he's not invincible.
He will bite you, though. Are you gonna get in the ring in my place? He massages his fist.
Wish I could. Oh, okay. But I can train you to get to that level.
Get you punching like a rainbow shrimp. And all that talk about how bad it is to go about punching people to prove your dominance?
I'm a coach. I've got to teach these guys lessons. In humility, if that's what they need. But he should stop picking on you from now on. And if he tries again, you come to me. Got it?
That'll fix the way he looks down on you, is if you come running to the coach every time to tattle on him.
I mean...
Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
I guess I can let it slide if it'll keep Bruce humbled and out of my hair. Bucky tussles my hair again.
I fucking knew
I can't escape it.
You gonna grab some food?
Crowds aren't really my thing. I'll find some way to kill time till things die down.
You could stick around. Always need more help coaching.
Will I have to...
You will have to wear the hat, yes.
Hard pass. Thanks for the offer, though.
Anytime, bud. Rest up, yeah?
We nod each other off, and I make my way down to the hall. I suppose that I've done all three of the branches now, and it's time to continue the linear story, he says to himself. Yeah, I was so disoriented.
What the hell are you talking about?
I was disoriented until I remember, like, oh, right, we're still in the three choices when we were hanging out with Redline.
Yeah.
I was like, why is it asking me if I want to hang out with Redline again? That'd be extremely funny. All right, well, that's probably a good stopping point for today. This game has established its core narrative. It's doing a thing now. We're going to unpack everyone's toxic masculinity. And
everyone's? That's going to take a while.
Yeah, no. Welcome to another furry vision novel that's as long as the Odyssey.
Ah.
You ready to be playing Undefeated until March 2026?
Jesus.
See you next time.